Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Stories from Creators. I'm your host, Robert, and today, KarlJacobs versus Ice Poseidon. If you guys watched the last Stories from Creators, you know that I mentioned I don't know who Ice Poseidon is, but according to Augie from Augie RFC, go check him out. Him and Edgy were the biggest streamers on YouTube. I guess Ice Poseidon then moved to Twitch, or they were the biggest streamers in general. But Ice Poseidon versus KarlJacobs is here, dude. It's here. Who would ever think Dream SMP versus Ice Poseidon, edgy streamer, or former edgy streamer? So, according to many sources, Ice Poseidon used to be an edgy streamer because back in the old days of 2017 and 18, edginess was, this thing that everyone loved, right? So, KarlJacobs comes out with this tweet longer, basically saying, after my stream the other day, I felt like I wasn't able to express how I felt correctly, and that isn't the best format for me to respond in. So I wanted to make a formal apology here where I can more explicitly express myself in an organized format. That way I can make sure that I say things the right way, since then I have taken the time to educate myself and do my best to hear people's concerns. Now, what happened is, basically KarlJacobs was like, hey, I like Ice Poseidon and stuff, and Ice Poseidon used to be used to do like some racist stuff for edgy humor. Like, he's not a racist, but he used to do like racist stuff for the views, right? Back then do anything to get the views, because edginess was that thing that everyone needed. And so Ice Poseidon responded to this, but we'll get to that in a little later. But Karl apologized on a stream, a 6-minute stream, I believe. And then, so I guess he made this tweet longer, because I guess people weren't accepting his apology. So some fans Karl has. Recently, some people have come forward with discomfort about me being in a stream with an old Twitch streamer, Ice Poseidon, from a few years ago. This is completely justified concerns because Ice Poseidon made very controversial, offensive, and all types of content that I absolutely don't support. Yes, he did. Ice Poseidon, for a long time, was one of the largest people on Twitch, and back then I was generally someone that looked to Twitch as my clear passion in life, so I followed and watched everyone that was at the top of Twitch. No, he didn't. Let's be honest here. No, you didn't, buddy. Come on. You were a fan of Ice Poseidon. Let's be honest. You were a fan of Ice Poseidon, right? And because he would stream snipe Ice Poseidon whenever he was in North Carolina, apparently, whenever Ice Poseidon would do these IRL streams, right? And yeah, he took pictures with him and all of that stuff to get the clout, to manage his career. Now, you guys know, KarlJacobs has had massive success, right? He's had great success. He has 2 million followers on Twitch. He works for Mr. Beast. He's in Mr. Beast's videos. He's on the Dream SMP. The man values his career more than he values anything else, really. He values his career for other bigger creators, basically. But anyways, let's read on. I know that a lot of them definitely weren't good people, or weren't now, and I should have been more cautious of that in the past. I understand that it's absolutely from a place of privilege, which is something that I have actively learned from. Just to explain how I ended up on his stream, he was doing an IRL stream in my city, North Carolina, when I lived there, and when I had the ability to show up on one of the biggest streams at that point, I decided to show up where he was streaming, uninvited. I do sincerely apologize, as I have for a while understood that this could be viewed as an endorsement. I don't endorse any of his actions, and I stopped watching his content a long time ago. I'm extremely sorry to anyone that heard that we had met and was impacted in a negative way. I never want anyone to feel uncomfortable in this community or have doubts on who I am as a person. And I gotta say, I'm not for deplatforming, but cancellation is different than deplatforming. If you bow to this mob, these are not real fans, buddy. These are not real fans. These are people that will nitpick at everything you do just to get you canceled, buddy. To try and cancellation is just a fancy word for cancellation. Or sorry, education is just a fancy word for cancellation. Let's be honest. Alrighty. I wanted to talk about a clip of me on Ms. Gift's stream explaining why I had been seen in Ms. Gift's chat logs saying CX, a reference to Ice Poseidon. Much more recently than any time I had ever watched Ice Poseidon's content. In this clip, I explained that I was probably typing it in a way to reference when a video game character on the screen had a large nose, which, let's be honest, no, he didn't. When Ice Poseidon used to be one of the biggest streamers, other streamers jokingly picked on him for having a large nose. I didn't realize this could come across in any way as racially charged or charged with any form of anti-Semitism, as I just used it as a joke about Ice Poseidon. I've been educated / canceled recently on why this could be hurtful to Jewish people, and that had all my intentions, so I am very sorry. I mostly want to get across that I am genuinely sorry to anyone I have affected. I know that it is important to lead anyone that follows me as a mascot of positivity and comfort, and part of that is acknowledging when I make mistakes and apologizing for them. I promise to show change beyond just exclaiming that I won't let things like this happen again, because I want everyone to feel comfortable being a part of this community. As you all do, generally means a lot to me. Love you guys. Thank you for hearing me out. I am genuinely sorry. KarlJacobs. There you have it. So Ice Poseidon responded to this, which I found very interesting. And I found it very interesting what he said. But first we want to watch Keemstar's twit clip. So roll the twit clip.
Mr. Beast videos. Well, Karl has went off to make his own career, and he's been wildly successful. Millions and millions of fans. And yesterday, Karl got canceled by his own community. They were basically saying that Karl is a racist because he supported a racist. He supported someone that was homophobic. Who are we talking about? Who did Karl support? Ice Poseidon. Yeah, back in the day, Ice Poseidon, in real life streamer, very toxic community, toxic jokes, racist, homophobic jokes, whatever. Karl stream sniped him. Karl showed up on one of Ice Poseidon's streams. Karl was a fan of Ice Poseidon. So yesterday, Karl's fans were like, how could you support a racist? How could you support a homophobic? You know, how could you support Ice Poseidon? Karl, you're canceled. Karl uploads an apology video where he was like distancing himself from Ice Poseidon, saying, I don't really support bad streamers anymore, and I wasn't really that much of a fan, and I know I stream sniped him, but I wasn't really that much of a fan, and blah, blah, blah. What Karl should have said is, you know, I was a fan of that stuff, and I'm no longer a fan, because that would have been the truth. But what I don't like is that Karl had a platform of millions of people, and he could have told his audience that Ice Poseidon has changed. That's right. Ice Poseidon, 2 years ago, decided, I am in a toxic community, in a toxic environment. I am done with this toxic stuff. I'm going to go be a good boy streamer. That's what he did. And Ice Poseidon risked that. He risked his whole career based on being a good guy, knowing that he would lose almost all of his fans, which he did. And over the last 2 years, Ice Poseidon hasn't done anything edgy whatsoever. I'm so sick of us as a community not acknowledging those that change for the better, right? It makes me so angry. Karl is sitting here trying to, I want nothing to do with Ice Poseidon, so he doesn't lose his career, so it doesn't damage his career. Ice Poseidon gave up his career to be a good guy, and Ice Poseidon doesn't give any praise? Like, come on. Like, I want to say I'm really disappointed in you.
Okay, so there's the clip there. You can see Keemstar is very hot about this. So then Ice Poseidon makes a series of tweets talking about this. So Karl was causing a witch hunt against me in front of millions of people because he hung out with me on a YouTube stream when he was a fan. Yet I'm still banned on Twitch. Lol. I can't believe he doubled down on this. Karl, here's some advice because you're young. At KarlJacobs, you are letting your fans who do not have your best interests shame you into apologizing for something you shouldn't have to apologize for, and directly causing a witch hunt. I remember you said you looked up to me. So can you at least do me a favor and be a man? Ooh. I went through the same stuff. Heed my advice, or your toxic fans will continue to push the boundary until it's too late. It's happened to me. If there's anyone you owe an apology, it's me for the emotional harm you and your viewers are causing for no reason. With all that said, I am not a bad person. In fact, I have done a lot of good in this industry. Probably inspired my favorite streamer who knows I push boundaries, but I've learned from it. So, if you're a fan of me, please help me show these stands the good I have done with examples. By the way, I streamed on YouTube, Karl, not Twitch, when you sniped me. Also, Tryhard has always had a negative connotation on Twitch way before me. Take some accountability. Sorry, man. Okay, so no more needs to be said. Lol, this stuff is childish as AF. So there is what he said, and then he made a series of picture tweets basically showing him, meeting all these people like Mr. Beast on the screen right now, basically saying, oh, hey, look, guys, here's a bunch of other people. Whole community, half of YouTube, canceled. Nice job, stands of Dream SMP. But anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, sub, and subscribe, all that goodness. And I'll see you guys in the next one.